Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Shakesandfidget free-to-play playthrough. We're in game. It's actually Sunday. It's almost 11, so all of the events are expiring, and I wanted to go through with you on how I generally spend my thirst. It's a sort of recap of how thirst works, let's put it like that. But at the same time, since we have the free beers, let's use the 300 thirst in this episode. Actually 320 because we also have the enchant on our belt for a free additional beer. If you like this type of content, don't forget to like and subscribe in order to get a notification when a new video is out. And also don't forget to leave a comment below if you want to say hello, if you want to ask something, or if you want to suggest something. I will be glad to read your comments and respond. So as you can see, we are level 268, so a short recap of the progress. 268 mostly because of this. I've actually saved all of my fights in the dungeon, and this was this one dungeon here, Magma Stream. So you can see that I beat them, and most of these were one shots, so I think none of them were multiple tries. At the same time, when it comes to pets, I managed to get Watnake or unlock the Watnake finally, because you can see that our water is 158. It's really lacking, but we have 96 food to feed it. The problem is to get it, because it says can't be found in the wild but only in the magic shop. And as a free-to-play player, it's really hard because you need to shuffle the shop in order to find the pet. And here is a tip for you as a beginning of this episode before we start with the thirst is how to shuffle without using shrooms. Well, the easiest way is search for pots, the potions. Potions are always gold, sold for gold. So you can buy them and you get another item behind it. And this one is perfect because we can also use it ourselves. Later on you would sell this. So then you would do the same for this one. Okay, we don't have any more pots. And we did not yet get the pet. So let's now search these items and see if any of them is only gold. This one is only gold, so buy it. This one is only gold, buy it. This is a potion, so let's use it. This one you can also buy. This is also only gold. This is only gold. So far so good. So now we are actually, the backpack is full. Let's sell some item. You can get some money back. I tend to dismantle at least couple of them to get some stuff for our blacksmith, but all the others you can generally sell. So let's buy this one now. Also another potion, another this one. Actually it's going really great. You can see now, let me just quickly sell these. Now this one actually costs 1 shroom. So now we go for the next item. Shroom, 10 shrooms, 10 shrooms, only gold. So let's buy it. So you can repeat this until all of the items cost shrooms. Once they all cost shrooms, well, unfortunately, we have to stop there. At least, let's say if we want to save shrooms, because now all of them cost shrooms, so we cannot proceed onwards. But this is how you can shuffle the shop without using shrooms. The same goes actually for another pet. This is the fire pet. This one here, Dragopier, says can be found only in local shop, weapon shop. So you would do the same thing for the weapon. You would just buy the stuff which does not cost gold, which does not cost mushrooms, and hope for the best. Hope that behind one of these is your pet. So this is a small tip for you how to save shrooms as a free-to-play player, searching in these for these pets, because this is the next pet which we need to go all the way to the end. With fire we were lucky, so we already have it. Let's actually do the fight when we are here. And as you can see, I actually also did not do the fights against other player. This is my mistake. I was not oh nice, I skipped it unfortunately, but we won, so we are 2 pets away of completing the fire habitat. So I did not do the fights. This was my mistake. Let's now do it. Okay, perfect. By sort of midnight, we can probably finish most of these because it's 15 minutes each, so it's not a problem. Let's also, when we are here, do dungeon here. We don't have, unfortunately, unlocked dungeons, so we can do here. I have not checked the percentages, so I don't know which one is next one, but let's try with the baby dragon. I will leave the fight ongoing while I'm going through other stuff. Um, so we finished the shadow dungeons, and unfortunately, so usually the next dungeon is unlocked once you have 5 levels of previous dungeon defeated, and then you need to mine the key. Unfortunately, we are unlucky with mining the keys, so that's actually the problem. Once we mine the key, you can see here, defeat the monster on floor 5, and then mine the key in the gem mine. Same goes here. So once we defeat 5 levels here, this one unlocks, and further on, further on. Unfortunately, it is a bit RNG from that point of view. Quickly to go through the arena manager as well. So you can see we are 10 sextillion. It's not going bad, and actually we can sort of sacrifice these ones just to quickly spend all the money. And generally we will sacrifice because it doubled the amount. So we will now also build this. While this is collecting, let's do the fight. So I'm just showing you how actually my day goes when playing with my characters. I left this one free to play just to play it, show you how it works. So I would be doing all of the stuff, also this one. So I usually start with this one. As you can see, I would first lure the heroes here 5 times, then I would do the fights here. When on the fights, let's do the fights quickly. So and then I would proceed onwards. Regarding doing the fights, usually I told you you can save the fight. What has actually been a problem lately is that all of the fights which I anyway get in the mails are too high for me, or I will lose all of them. So in the end, I opt now for just fighting with one warrior. I lose, however, I lose just a small amount because it's one warrior, which is cheap enough to build. But here I can, from this one, already build like a couple of warriors. So as long as you win like 3-4 fights, you are already in bonus. So you should not be worried from that point of view. So that's it when it comes to the fortress fights. Let's just quickly finish. Yeah, we're finished. This one I will not do because it's just waste of soldier. We will lose for sure, so it doesn't make sense. In all other cases, you can fight because you can then build or shuffle the fight and you would get the next one, but we have only one warrior, so shuffling doesn't make sense because we will not be able to continue. Now let's go to the tavern. So as you can see, we have done, I mean, general when it starts, I would do the abavuvu first, I would do the guild stuff first, the second, then I would do the what I showed you in the fortress, then do at least one fight, or first the portal, then the fight in the dungeon, then I would do at least one pet, feed the pets and similar, and then I would continue with arena, and now back to the tavern. First and foremost, change the gear. So I have here the gear which has the experience up to 10%. 10% is the maximum which you can get from the gear. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So this is surplus, this is surplus, this is surplus, because you can see that when I go here and when I take any quest, it says 10% for the runes. So everything else is excess. What you can do is search for a bonus gold. Unfortunately, I don't have any, and God knows probably some of the other stuff which I sold already were gold bonus, but generally you would stop at 10%. So let's say these 5 items, and then here you would have bonus gold, because bonus gold also affects from the tavern. And now to recap, for those who might have just now joined in the our series of the free to play playthrough, how the experience works. So first and foremost, even though we have a glorious gold galore, you should always be going for highest experience gained until, let's say, 400 or 500 levels. So you should not be even looking at the gold at all. So don't worry about the gold, focus on the experience. And how you would assess what is the best experience is you would look at the gold per time part of, or time spent, but one part of the time spent for that particular quest. There is always quests up to 4 time parts, and the let's say base quest with 4 time parts is 20 minutes long. Um, then there is a 15, 10, and 5 minutes, and then depending on the amount which you have, the time is reduced. Unfortunately, we don't have the 50% mount. We have only 30% mount. You can see still 11 days. We did not have enough shrooms for it. So our time parts are actually 3.5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10.5, and 14 minutes. But what is most important thing is just to understand what is your time part in this case scenario. For me, it's 3.5 minutes, and then calculate the experience sort of per one time part, because this would be the easiest. Or you can move everything to 4 time parts. The idea is just to level them out on the same amount of time spent. So for example, here we have first these two are equal in terms of time. Both of them are 10.5 minutes. However, this is 1.8 million of experience, and this one is 2.1. So this one is by default higher. Then we have the second option, this one or this one. This one is 1 time part, 500 experience. This one is 3 time parts, 2.1 million experience. So if we would divide this by 3 time parts to get it to the same base as this one, to 1 time part, this would be 700,000 experience. So this one is bigger, and we would accept this one. Easy as that. So you can see how easy it is to do it. I mean, I was explaining now, so it took a bit of time for me to explain everything and similar, but in a normal case scenario, you would just do it really fast. Now I will skip the quest. I still have some hourglasses to skip, so I will skip. And now we continue. Again, 1 time part 700, 1 time part 380, 4 time parts 2.8. If you divide, this would be 700. 700 versus 700. Now you can say, okay, this one has sort of 300,000, this one has 1.1, so this one has a bit of gold, more gold or something. It's personally, I don't go into such details. So this is 760, this is 700. Let's take this one, and that's it. Now, if you're playing on a computer, you can also use keyboard for that, because if you play with a keyboard, it's much faster to go through your thirst. So you press enter, you open the screen, and then you just quickly with the arrows you can move between the quests. So you just look at this one. It says 184 for 1 time part, 2 time parts 800, which means 400 1 time part, and this is 400, less than 400 for 3 time part, or for 1 time part each. So this one is the biggest. So you press enter to start. It's a bit slow. You press enter, you finish it, and you can press enter to skip. So it's like 4 enters and an arrow. So now to go a bit quickly. So this one, this one, this one. It's going rather quickly. So this one, it's actually going extremely quickly also for our character, because we don't have the mount. So the highest amount of time needed for, let's say, the 4 time part is 14 minutes. So it just eats our thirst really, really fast. So this one, fortunately, it seems that the internet is a bit slow for me, so it's loading every time that I press enter, which it is how it is. So let's go. So this one. So now, okay, this one and this one, you can see easy enough that this one, because it's 3 time parts and it's almost equal to this one, it just does not make sense. So you would, in this case scenario, go with this one. Now there is a third one. This one. So this one is 700 per time part. This is approximately 700 per time part. So between these two, you can select which one. I usually go for this one because as you have noticed, it's like 700 in average per time part. So the only option where you would select the one with the 3 time parts is if you know that you can get with a single time part in the future you can get more. Since in average I'm getting 700 per time part, it just does not make sense. And personally I like to finish the thirst as fast as I can, so then I would just take the 14. So 7, this one for sure. And okay, still slow. Will you please? Okay, finished. And then the last experience which we can, this one, and the very last, this one. Okay, so now we are finished with our main 100 thirsts which you get every day. After that is finished, you can then drink the beers. Now beers are free, which is great. One thing to note here, still again trying to go over the thirst usage as sort of as you would be playing for the first time. So here what is really important, again I have problems, so what is really important is to pay attention. If you have the beer enchant unlocked, here you would have 0 out of 11, and in a normal case scenario the first beer you drink will be free. And here is a trick, or here is a trap. If you don't have the enchant at the moment on your gear, you might, as I have done so many times, press enter, and I would just drink a beer, and it would be 0 from 10 here. I would use a shroom to drink the beer. After you do that, regardless if you enchant the gear afterwards, you will not get a free beer. So only the first ever beer is free if you have the enchant. If you don't have the enchant, regardless if you get the enchant later, you will not get the free beer. So always pay attention. You see here 0 out of 10, you stop, you know there is an enchant, go enchant your gear, and then drink the beer. This can happen if you are changing a belt, or, for example, I don't know if I did it on this character, I don't have a beer enchant here, I actually do. But usually I don't enchant my gear with beer here. I only enchant it on my questing gear. In that case scenario, you would notice that you did not change the gear as well. So it's a good opportunity. Okay, now there is the next thirst. Just quickly, so this one. Is enough? No, wait, I did not look. Okay, so the 348 one. I don't know if you see hear my clicking of the wait before I skip. So here, this one is a bonus reward type of a quest, a rare quest. I don't know how it's called, and this can give a lot of experience. Bear in mind not to fall in a trap, because sometimes even though this one is red, it does not give more experience than, for example, this one. So it can give, here it gives more gold, but it can actually sometimes be red and not be giving either or at least not in that big amount, and then you might opt for selecting that quest even though it's suboptimal for your gameplay. So from that point of view, just pay closer attention when you are playing, just not to take a quest which is red just because it's red and you think there is a better reward offered. I might have made a mistake with the previous quest, but mistakes can happen as long as you do not make them very often. It should not hinder your gameplay too much. So that's the most important thing, is if you make a mistake, okay, proceed onwards playing properly. Don't be bummed or anything like that, because it can happen. So this one, And we're almost over with this set of thirst. We still have 6 beers left. We will take them and finish with all of thirst today for the night. One thing to note, I wanted to record this episode beforehand, because I wanted, and I did not, put the guard duty until 11:30 or 11:45 or whatever, because this is how you should play. So to recap, one of the tips which I have given in one of my previous episodes when I was explaining Glorious Gold Galore event is that you should always at Sunday try to finish your thirst in the morning and then put the guard duty so that you finish as close as to midnight as you can. And then once you finish in the midnight, you pick up the most amount of gold before going to bed, because at midnight the glorious gold galore will stop and the 5 times more gold will be inactive. So you should always finish as close to midnight in order to get the most out of the event. Again, I think I made a mistake there, not sure, but if it was a mistake, it was like a maybe 100,000 experience up down, so it's not that problematic from this point of view. Yeah, so for example here, so this is 450, this is 500, and this is 480. So all 3 of them are in a like this, not the ballpark is a too big a term, so they're really in a small difference. So if you make a mistake like, oh, I should have selected this one instead of this one, it's not that problematic. And I think this is what happened to my previous quest. I'll just drink the last beer because anyway we have it for free, and we only have a couple of quests left. Of course, this one. Sometimes it's really straightforward if the experience given is more or less than some other, like between these 3, like you can immediately see that this one is the one which you are going for, and that's it. I don't know if I have enough space. Let's just quickly toss fire resistance. Too bad not gold. Yeah, same, but this one is still a bit more. What did I do? Okay, sorry. Got somehow distracted, so definitely the 3.5 minute one. Yeah, this one. Okay. Did I? It's a bit. My computer is slow. I'm rendering some videos at the same time, so it could be that from that one as well. I'm preparing some content for the YouTube, and maybe this is the reason why it's also slow. But we only have a few thirsts left. And there is one more thing which I wanted to show you. Again, a tip which I might have shown in the past. That's it. So return back the equipment. We will actually level. I know this because I will show you the next one. But generally, this is it. We finished that part. We can actually put our guard unit until tomorrow morning, just because anyway it's irrelevant. It's 11 in the evening. Let's do the second fight of the day. I usually here I don't have a pro tip for you. I usually go where I see that I have much more health than the other class, especially if I am the same class. So for example, if there would be a scout here and here is a scout and I would have much more health than him, why not? Here perhaps I would fight this one. Mage actually does a lot of damage, so it's problematic. This I would avoid. Assassins are actually quite strong, at least this is my personal feeling, but I would actually go for this one maybe because I have 1.5 thousand more dexterity even though he has more health. So let's try with this one to see, even though like the most of it comes from the luck, like how much dodge he would do and how much dodge I would do. Let's speed it even a bit more. And now the last step is which I wanted to show you today. Again, perfect. Again, a bit of tip. I will use one shroom now because I forgot about this before I did the fight. But since there is an event for the witch, where the witch is actually accepting all of the items into her cauldron, it says um, just throw any items in the cauldron. So what you can do and what I was doing is I was saving Twister for occasions like this. So I can now go in the Twister and I can fight for free. Well, except the first time because as I said, I forgot about it. Um, and the point is that they actually have come on, I thought it's blocked. So they actually have, I cannot say quite a high chance to give you items, but they actually give it on a regular basis. So this one I will fight. As I said, I will use it. The point is that you can see in the background, I did not get hurt at all. If you have not lost more than 10% of your health, you can, in hour and a half, you can fight for free. You can see now that for the next fight, I go for next fight, it's free. So I can now just spam fights here and even get some experience. And I can just spam fight and get experience, and at the same time perhaps get some items which I can immediately sell to witch. For example, this one immediately. I can immediately sell, and the perfect thing is like it's 2 million. It's really I think I am currently paying for my stats 1.7 million, so it's one stat increase. So you can always save Twister fights until the witch is there. The reason why you would save the Twister fights is because you don't have enough space in your backpack to store all of the items which I might get. So the best way would be just to wait for the witch, then you fight and immediately sell the items which you get, so nothing is stored in your bag. I don't know how long we can push it like this. Probably some 10-15 levels. I forgot to sell that one, but I can sell it later on. It's not that problematic. And this is the way how you can earn some gold. Actually, you can also see when we fight, you get some experience and you get some gold anyways. So it's you're sort of doubling down on Twister. You are getting experience, or tripling down. You're getting experience. You're getting gold. Plus, if you get an item, you can sell it immediately to witch. Bear in mind, again, only if you have all of the enchants at witch unlocked. Going fine. I still need, I have 2 items which I got, I did not sell, so they're in my bag and they might be sort of clogging the bag, but at the moment it's fine. It's just that I'm trying to be fast, so I'm pressing the enter and skipping and doing everything. So I skip when there is an item, let's say by accident, but while I'm in hurry. I think we can do easily 20 levels more because they are not doing damage at all to me at the moment. I mean, let's just see one fight to see that it's literally I probably 1 or 2 shot them, especially if I dodge. So you can see I do 1/3 second, and that's it. Like 3 shot in this case scenario. It was a warrior, so it has a bit of more health in that context. But generally this is it. This is the last thing which I wanted to show you. I will actually continue now doing this. I just don't want to drag this episode too long. Anyway, it's already too long. But that's it for this episode. I hope you liked it. I hope that you picked up some tips from before, and now you saw how they work, and you can utilize them in your gameplay. Before I end the episode, just to quickly go through the weekend events which are coming next weekend. As you can see, the most important thing is the legendary dungeon. But before I tackle this one, I will just want to quickly tackle the events themselves. So we first have the crazy mushroom harvest. This one actually happens every time that there is a legendary dungeon or elevator or something similar. It's just because it's a 20% more shrooms from the web shop, from the shops in general, actually. It's sort of an incentive to buy shrooms because you anyway need it for legendary dungeon, and then on top of that, you would get more, so it's even a more incentive. Then we have the Epic Good Luck Extravaganza. So we have increased chance of getting the the items, the epic items from the Dr. Abavuvu item sort of slot, or from the game of dice, you can have a chance to get the epic item. And this one actually goes really well with Lucky Day, because Lucky Day, on top of that, it increases the chance on getting lucky coins for Dr. Abovo spins. Actually, you can spin Dr. Abovo 40 times, and you can play Dice Game 20 times. And as I shown in one of the previous episodes, Dice Game is really nice to get epic items. So you will have now 20 times, 2 times more chances, 20 times to play a Dice Game on getting an epic item. Then we have the Witch's Dance, which just a few seconds ago I shown you how great it is to get some gold. It enables you to toss in the cauldron all of the items which you have. If all of the enchantments are unlocked, we have it unlocked on our server, so we will be pushing Twister even more. Then we have the Fantastic Fortress festivity, only big gems, which is really nice. Especially since if you unlock Legendary Dungeon, or if you beat Legendary Dungeon, you get some legendary items, you have chance for legendary gems, and if you are lucky enough, maybe you get a big one, so it's really, really nice. Also, the training of the units in Fortress are halved, so this is also really good opportunity to farm some Fortress materials. Then there is a Forge Frenzy Festival. This is the blacksmith event, so 15 dismantles per day instead of 5. Really nice. And then we have the tidy toilet time, so more mana for tossing an item into the toilet. Now, when it comes to the legendary dungeon, it will start for the weekend. It will last 7 days as always. And I suggest everyone to try and beat. Last time with our free to play character, we beat it 2 times, and even the third time we were like 20 something levels in. So it is a great opportunity, depending of course how lucky you are, to get some legendary items, potentially finish it 2 or more times. As a free to play character, if you are shrooming, feel free to beat the legendary dungeons even more time. But it's a great way how to get a great item, and by default it is 3 stat, it will never be all stat. Plus you can earn some resources and even epic items within the run itself, so it's a great opportunity. I will cover it on for the weekend. I will give the tips which I gave also in the previous time, but you can always look at the previous episode. You will find the link down below in the description as well if you want to remind yourself. But generally, Legendary Dungeon is coming. Great way how to earn some nice loot. That's it for this episode. And all in all, live long and keep on gaming.